Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in from wherever you are around the world. This is the Vuyo Joboda show right here on VN, where I get to sit down with celebrated stars, inspiring leaders from all around the world. We get to share with us their stories, their journey, and how it is that they came to the incredible success that we get to celebrate today. And today's guest is, of course, on the same and on that particular part as well. I can't wait to introduce you to him, but let me show you what you can expect on the show today. Have a look at this. Growing up, did you always know? Was art always part of your childhood? Paint us the picture of your growing up.
We saw our dad drawing a portrait of the three of us, him and us.
Yeah.
And from that day, we were like, we are artists. And every time when I was in the office, I'd still go back to drawing. And I didn't think I was going to be able to venture into art professionally. So my main source of inspiration is my childhood. My mother is one of the most amazing people I was blessed to live with or to be given birth by. I take this as an amazing adventure, and I think I believe that a smooth sea doesn't create a skilled sailor.
Now, being an artist is one of the most revered and celebrated art forms within the world because it's not an easy thing to do. But our guest today does it so effortlessly and is just, look at him. Ladies and gents, the one and only Fhatuwani Mukheli.
Yes.
Did I say it correctly?
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Everyone in studio today was looking at your outfit and how you dress, and everyone was like, this is a true artist.
Sure, thank you.
Because you can tell an artist by just looking at them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah? Now, tell us where it all began. I like grilling my guests with this question particularly because it always gets to help us get the framework of what kind of led one to the path that they're in today.
Yeah.
Growing up, did you always know? Was art always part of your childhood? Paint us the picture of your growing up.
Sure. I started doing art at the age of 7.
Yeah.
And I have a twin brother who I started at the same time. We saw our dad drawing a portrait of the three of us, him and us.
Yeah.
And from that day, we were like, we are artists. And it's something that I've always known that I am. And growing up, obviously, you go astray, you find other ways to make money, and then your calling finds you again, you know. And I'm grateful that my calling found me and I answered.
Yes.
And I'm living I'm living my purpose.
Yes.
I think I'm living in my purpose.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. It found you. Well, you tried to run away from it and it was like, come back.
Sure.
Now, you and your brother, you guys have such a close relationship. I would say celebrate you because I'm probably one of the people who always double click when I get to see your bond and your relationship, but you're both in art. But share with us how was, being a twin growing up and what that experience was like. Are you guys even twins?
Yeah, we are twins.
Yeah.
Being a twin is the biggest blessing for me because you are born with someone to navigate this tough life with. And there is a dark side to being twins where are born with a lot of attention and you don't understand why people give you attention and the other kids are not getting attention. But then I grew, or we both grew to understand that us being twins doesn't mean that we are weird or we're just weird. We actually are desirable. People wish they could be twins, and we used it as our power. So it's the most amazing thing because you're born with a best friend. You're born with someone you can share everything with because you're almost like identical. But then you are each individuals with different personalities and whatever goals. But then we share so much and we are so similar and different.
Now, your experience is different to a lot of people's experience because, you are a twin. Yeah. But also, how do you then find your own voice within that? Because you're always associated together. You're always, grouped into being one, even though you're two people. Yeah. But how did you go about finding your voice within that?
It took us a while.
Yeah.
There was a point, I think, a good 5 years where we were not close. And that was important for us to find our own way, find my own voice. And I'm a social person. My brother is not very social.
Okay.
So that's a very big difference between the two of us. And we are obviously best friends. I make the friends. And then if I say this guy's cool, then
Okay.
we're good, you know.
Yeah.
But finding my own voice took a while. I don't think there was anything I did special. I just somehow, as you grow and you mature, you find your own path and you make peace with the fact that you are your own person. You know, as a twin, you know, we shared a lot until maybe the age of 25, even a bank account.
What?
And then,
No ways.
you know, girlfriends came in, everyone bought their own house.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because a lot of people are not twins, so getting
Sure.
to hear those nuances that come in play. How did you discover that art was your purpose? Because you did say earlier on that you are now living in that. How did you know it was your purpose?
So my first career was in advertising as an art director. It sounds like it's art, but it's not art. It's creative work. You know, you're writing ads, you designing billboards, all that stuff. And every time when I was in the office, I'd still go back to drawing. You know, and then we started our own business, I Say It Differently, which is a photography business, production house, and I would still find myself drawing. And lockdown hit, and our business is running, nothing is happening, obviously. I sat with myself, and I'm like, who are you? What do you want? Let's say the world ends now. What is it that's going to make you happy? And it was only two things for me, to paint and to do like gymnastics, backflips.
Oh, really?
Like very, I like, what do they call it? I grew up in the township. I grew up in the township. So they say I'm a humble and all that stuff. So I started training to do that because it makes me happy. And then I started drawing because it makes me happy.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was going to be able to venture into art professionally. You know, it always been the thing that I enjoy doing and my way to show off my skill to other people.
Yeah.
And then, just in the middle of lockdown, I was able to start my career as an artist. And when the door was open, I didn't look back. I just said, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
it's
looking
been
great. Sure.
So, I mean, drawing, painting, I find it's extremely difficult, firstly, because I can't even draw a stick man. I want you to help us distinguish this, right?
Sure.
Do you think art and like painting, drawing, being an artist is something you're born with, or that's something that you can acquire or learn as you go along?
There's the technical part of it, which you can learn.
Okay.
But to be honest, art is not a career option. It's a calling. You know, it's not a thing where you can go, oh yeah, I'm choosing to be an artist. You know, you can try, you can learn how to be, but there's the emotional aspect. There's the part that the drawing or the technical part of it can't be part of it, you know.
Okay.
So let's say I paint a portrait and it evokes your emotions. That's the part that the technical side of art can't get into. You know, so the emotions that you feel when you see it is where the calling lies within art.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what makes us artists. You know, and I honestly believe life is all art. You know, being a scientist, mathematicians, anything that has problem solving is art for me. And we are just in the other lane of art where we are documenting time, we are expressing our feelings, we're telling stories through inks and oils and acrylics, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
All the colorful stuff.
Yes.
Where do you, I always wonder, and when I get to see your artwork, because you tell a story in your art, right?
Yes.
Where do you source these ideas from? Where do you see something and decide, I'm going to paint that or I'm going to draw that? Or does it, where inside of you do you source it from for you to be able to put it on a canvas?
Yeah. So my main source of inspiration is my childhood. My mother is one of the most amazing people I was blessed to live with or to be given birth by. And she's super inspirational, you know. So I always try and tell the stories of my upbringing. The feeling I've always felt when I was with her. I used to, she's still alive, by the way.
Yeah.
So I used to bake with her. We used to sell chicken pieces, masonja, all that stuff. And I'd spend a lot of time with her, and she'll be telling me her stories, how she grew up, and how she also kind of instilled principles, life principles within us. Like, you know, growing up in humble beginnings, should say, if your friend has a cool sneaker, don't be jealous. Be happy for him because it will come to you as well.
Yeah.
You know, and you can feel the feeling of jealousy, dismiss it, you know, all that stuff. So I always look at all the life principles my mom gave me and make them subjects to what my art is. And then I love music. I love hip-hop music, and I think hip-hop music has amazing messages. People are frustrated, people are hurt, people are happy, and I find ideas there, you know. And when like an artist, one of my favorite artists had a song called Moments You Can't Relive, and I immediately thought of what if I take this and make it a visual thing, and paint moments that I can't relive, you know. And that was my subject and my theme for whatever artwork I was making. So that's how I find my inspiration, you know.
Now, you know, these are all intriguing questions because I know that there are so many audiences at home who also get to ask themselves these questions.
Sure.
Before you go on that canvas, before you begin, before you start, what is the procedure that you go through? Is there a particular formula that you first need to sit in a particular room in a particular...
No.
How does that go about?
To be honest, art for me is very easy.
Yeah.
And it's only easy because I do it all the time.
Okay.
I'm constantly drawing in my head. I'm constantly looking at visuals. And on my phone, I'm looking at things that give me ideas. So when I'm in my studio, I just paint, you know, and I draw. It's not hard for me.
Yeah.
And that is only because I'm constantly doing it in my head. You know, I'm constantly thinking of ideas. What's my next artwork? I've got millions of them in my head. You know, and it's just expressing it.
Yes.
You know, and people do ask me, how do you find all this inspiration? And I think I don't wait for inspiration. I'm constantly working. Inspiration will come and go, whatever. I'm still there, and I'm sketching. I'm always with a sketch pad and then my iPad. Wherever I am, I'm sketching.
Yeah.
Or I'm looking at art and I'm sending my brother with this artwork, that, you know. So I'm constantly working.
Yeah.
But it's not work for me.
Yes.
To be honest, I'm having fun.
Yeah. Now, I want us to touch base on this particular element of art, which separates it from just being one would say something you do because you love, but it being something that sustains you.
Yes.
You said you have taken it now as a full-on career.
Yeah.
You know, we know many parents who say, but this is just a hobby. This can't be a career. You can't make money out of it. For you, how did you find that balance and enabling yourself as an artist, doing what you love, to be able to still be sustainable in it and make a living?
So, you know, one of the biggest mistakes I think people make is separating the two. If you are an artist or whatever you are, you must enjoy it. And while you're enjoying it, you must make sure you are making a living of it.
Yes.
Don't separate them. I don't separate them. When I'm in my studio and I'm painting, I'm still a business. These are my emotions. These are my ideas. This is a piece of me. I'm giving birth to something that will nourish someone or make someone feel better, or whatever or heal them. And with that, I'm not selling those feelings, but I need to have access to create more, because I was brought in this life to create and heal people through my work, or make people feel a certain way through my work. So if I'm painting and people buy these artworks, they're only adding into me to create more, you know? And I must take both those things seriously, because it's one thing. It's fun. I go to the stationery shop with my brother and we buy a lot of canvases, whatever, paints. And you'll be shocked how much we spend buying that stuff. But to me, I'm like, it's like you bought a kid a PlayStation or a trampoline.
Yeah.
And with that excitement and pure love and joy, I'm able to create all these things that I create that make people happy, you know. And I also take the business part serious, because people will say, hey man, I'm curious, how much is that? Can you send me a catalog? So I'm not the artist that will paint and go, your way, I don't know, I must find someone to do a catalog for me. Yes, at some point I will. but I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'll paint, take a photo, sizes, materials. Is there how many editions? You know,
Yes.
It makes my life easier because people DM me. I just send them a link to my catalog. You'll see the prices. You'll see how many is which is sold, which is available. You know, because you can't just always be having fun. Even soccer players, skaters, whoever, there's the business side of it, which is part of all of that.
Yep.
So you can't separate the two. you know?
Which is why it's purpose that paid purpose,
Yes.
which enables us to have sustainability within this.
Exactly.
Now we're gonna go to a quick break, and after that we come back and we chat about you dining people and having people sit down and have conversations in this space. Your restaurant.
Yes.
We're gonna touch base on that and so much more after this quick ad break.
Awesome.
From painting and being an artist to being a restaurateur, ladies and gents, Fhatuwani does it all. We were speaking earlier on about your fashion sense, with the crew here at set, and we were speaking about the expressionism and how you're expressing yourself with your art, with your fashion. But now you're taking on a completely different side of expressionism, which is a business, running a restaurant.
Yeah.
What inspired that? What led you to getting into that part of the industry?
So myself and my business partner and mentor, we've always had a dream to have a restaurant. And we love cooking for each other, and we're passionate about food and going to this restaurant and that restaurant. So we had an opportunity next to my studio. There was a restaurant that left, and they said, you can take it up if you want to. And I said, cool, let's do it. And we partnered with other people who are experienced in the business.
Yes.
And it's been like an amazing journey. It's a tough business. I won't lie. Getting into it, I thought, it's easy, you know.
Yeah.
And to be honest, there's like the ego element of it where you're going, I have a restaurant. And then when you have it, you're like, Phew, it's tough. It's tough business. You're managing people. You're managing stock, all that stuff. Customers.
Yeah.
But I'm a man of many talents, and I refuse to box myself to anything. So I take this as an amazing adventure, and I think I believe that a smooth sea doesn't create a skilled sailor. So it has to be rough for me to come out alive and be proud of what I'm doing,
And what experience do you want people coming into your restaurant, and also get to share where is the restaurant and what it is, but what experience do you want them to have coming, or when they are dining and sitting there? How do you want them to feel? What do you want them to experience?
So firstly, the restaurant is in 44 Stanley, which is in Auckland Park, and I want people to feel I'm a big aesthetic guy. I'm a visual person. It's a very Instagrammable place. I want people to walk in there and want to take photos. And then after, you'll get a great cocktail, good burger, the food is good, and drinks, There was a point a few years ago where I was into bars, going to bars with my friends on a Friday, Saturday, and I wanted to create something similar to what I've enjoyed everywhere when I'm in Cape Town, or when I'm around in Jozi or Durban, or when I'm overseas. And that's the feeling that my restaurant has, is it's a little bit of a time traveling thing. It's a bit old school. Beautiful tiles, everything is just cool, I want people to feel like, wow, okay, this is nice, it's different,
Of course. I mean, if you're in Johannesburg or you are planning on coming to Johannesburg, do visit 44 Stanley and go and experience good cocktails, as you said, good burgers and amazing food, right? So that's definitely one thing that I know for a fact I'm going to be going to enjoy, and so many of you at home as well. What more do you want to explore? You've explored, art. You've explored the industry of the restaurant and hospitality industry.
Yeah.
What else do you want to dabble in? Is there more?
I've always had a passion for architecture.
Okay.
Building stuff, and I want to not venture, but I want to try out something. So I'm from Venda. I want to build a studio there for myself, that I can make it a residency for my friends from abroad, and also get them to see where I'm from and my friends from Josie to see where I'm from, but I want to design it in such a cool way. You know, as I said, I'm an aesthetic guy. I like beautiful things. And that's my next venture, architecture and just buildings, you know. Yeah, building stuff.
I see. No, what would you call it even if you were to give it a name?
I think it's all art. It's still within my art space, you know.
Yeah.
I also had a passion for it since I was a kid. So now that I'm older and a bit of finances are looking great, I'm gonna invest in myself to design something first, and then maybe someone will see potential in me.
Okay, well, we are looking forward to that.
Sure.
We're also just going to touch base on being a brand ambassador for a very special brand.
Yes.
That we get to see, you know, you engaging with on the socials. How different is that to you being running your brand and your you know business to having to be a brand ambassador for someone else's business and brand?
So my partnership with Courvoisier is one of the most amazing things that has happened to me as an artist and in my career as an artist. So what it's done, it's given me cushion not to stress too much about finances because they pay, and basically the partnership is just going, Fhatuwani, tell us what you want and we'll back you. Whatever you want, you know. So I have a residency in the south of France. And I told them, hey, I'm going to be in the south of France for a month. I might extend and be in Europe for 3 months. And they're like, cool, great. We'll take you to the house of Courvoisier, the maison. And also, how can we back you up? And I'm like, okay, I need stationery. I need canvases, all the stuff that I'll be doing. How can you make my life easier? And they actually asked me, what do you need us to do? And they've been doing that for me for the past 3 years. If I want to host a bride with my friends, they bring stock, they bring whatever I need, you know, and it's amazing. And they obviously don't want me to be anything but myself.
And that's like the beauty in that, being able to live within yourself and be yourself authentically so. From doing some incredible art to traveling the world, to being a brand ambassador, to opening a restaurant, our guest today has done it all. Ladies and gents, Fhatuwani Mukheli, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Fhatuwani, we had such an amazing time getting to learn about the art industry and all of the amazing things that you get to do. Ladies and gents, this is, of course, the Vuyo Joboda show right here on VN. Catch us again, same time, same place, as we speak to inspiring guests, inspiring leaders from all around the world. For myself, Vuyo Joboda, and the amazing Fhatuwani, it is goodbye and God bless.